So Spain is famously known for their paellas. However, here in Spain, we have so many other different rice dishes besides paella that are equally as good and pack a ton of Spanish goodness. Anyways, today that's exactly what we're doing. We're making a very simple Spanish squid rice. Now this is the kind of dish that's served at so many different restaurants up and down the Spanish Mediterranean coast. And let me tell you, it's packed with so many great flavors. It's seriously so easy to make, and it comes together in just a little over 30 minutes, folks. Serve this rice dish next to a garden salad and a crunchy baguette. You got yourself one heck of a great meal. Really quick before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button in this video, as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way we can get notified every time I release new content. All right, let's begin by getting our ingredients ready. I'm gonna finely dice one small onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, finely grate 2 medium-sized tomatoes to end up with about half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 115 grams. You can substitute this for either canned tomato sauce or even passata if you like. And for the final ingredient to prepare, we have the star of the show. I've got 2 clean tubes of squid here. I bought these frozen and thawed them out. Now if you can't find these in your local supermarket, check with an Asian supermarket. They almost always have them in stock, and they're typically found in the freezer section. Using paper towels, I'm gonna pat the tubes of squid completely dry. Then we'll cut one of the tubes of squid into 1/2-inch pieces, which is 1 1/4 centimeters, to end up with some squid rings. And then we'll cut the other tube of squid into small squares that are about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, which is 1 1/4 centimeters by 1 1/4 centimeters. For the next step, let's start cooking our dish. I'm gonna grab a large non-stick fry pan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. After heating the olive oil for about 2 minutes, I'm going to season it with a little sea salt, and we'll add in the squid rings. And I like to mix the squid rings around continuously, that way they all evenly saute, and we're only going to go between 90 seconds to 2 minutes here. You don't want to overcook that squid, otherwise it can easily get a tough texture to it. After about 2 minutes and the squid rings are lightly sauteed, I'm going to remove them from the pan, and we'll set them aside and cover them with some foil paper. Now using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in the diced onion and the chopped garlic. And once again, we'll mix the ingredients around continuously, that way they evenly saute. After about 2 minutes and the onions are starting to turn translucent, I'm going to add in the other tube of squid that we cut into small squares. And we'll continue to mix the ingredients around with the olive oil. And once again, we're going to go for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes on that squid, that way it's perfectly sauteed. About 2 minutes after adding the squid into the pan, I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.15 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way that paprika is evenly coating all the ingredients. And like I always tell you, when you add in paprika into a hot pan, you want to mix it in there quickly, otherwise it can easily get a bitter flavor. Then we'll add in our 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, which once again is 115 grams. And we'll season everything with sea salt and a kiss of freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give this a quick mix, that way everything's evenly mixed together, and then simmer the tomato sauce just for a couple minutes. After about 3 minutes, and as you can see the tomato sauce has slightly thickened up, I'm going to add in 3 cups of fish broth, which is 710 milliliters. You'll find a link where you can purchase the Spanish fish broth I'm using in this recipe in the description box below. And we'll also add in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. As always, I'm using saffron threads from Golden Saffron. Once again, you'll find a link where you can get them in the description box below. Then we'll turn up the heat from a medium heat to a high heat. And we'll give this a quick mix and bring that broth to a boil. Once the broth comes to a boil, it's time to add in the rice. As always, I'm using Spanish round rice, which is very similar to arboreal rice, which is the one that's used to make risotto or even medium grain rice. Of course, to make this recipe, you can use whatever rice you like, though the liquid to rice ratios might be different, so make sure to check the package instructions. I'm going to measure out 1 cup, which is about 200 grams, and we'll add the rice into the pan. And we'll give this one final mix. That way all the ingredients are evenly distributed, and after this step, you don't want to mix the rice again. You know, like I always tell you, if you overmix the rice, it's going to start releasing its starch, and at the end, the rice is going to lose its beautiful texture. After about 10 minutes, and you can see a lot of that broth has been absorbed by the rice, but there's still plenty of broth left. I'm going to lower this to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this on a low-medium heat between 4 to 6 minutes or until all that broth has been absorbed by the rice. In the meantime, I'm going to measure out 1/3 cup of frozen peas, which is 45 grams, and set them aside. After simmering the rice on a low-medium heat for about 5 minutes and there is virtually no more broth left in the pan, I'm going to add in the 1/3 cup of frozen peas over the rice, making sure they're evenly spread out. And we'll also add in our reserved squid rings that we cooked earlier. Then I'm going to place a lid on the pan and turn off the heat. And we're going to let this sit here with the lid on between 4 to 5 minutes. This is enough time to ensure that the rice is fully cooked through, as well as those frozen peas and for those squid rings to fully heat through. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to remove the pan from the stovetop and the lid from the pan. And we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our Spanish squid rice is done. This is known here in Spain as Arroz con Calamares, a very typical dish from the Mediterranean coast of Spain. Easy to make, beautiful presentation, and all done using just one pan. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Seriously, that is one of the most beautiful looking rice dishes we've ever done here on the show, but now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see how it tastes. It's absolutely delicious with the rice perfectly cooked. It kind of tastes like a paella, but it's not a paella at all, folks. You saw this, so easy to make. Comes together in about 35 minutes, and the best part, all done using just one pan. Give this a try at home. You are going to absolutely love it. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Maria, Dark Matter, Catherine Deshays, Karen Reynolds, Melissa Thurman, and Leslie Tyson. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. Incredible rice dish, folks. Give this right at home. You're gonna love it. See you next video.